Well, good morning. We are here in beautiful Wallace, Idaho. If you watched our overlanding trip from last year, we were right next to the Wallace Inn. This is where we left to go to Lolo Hot Springs and back. So we had a couple of ideas. This is the other group that I typically overland with. The plans got a little bit mixed up, so three of us decided to go ahead and do a overlanding trip. So we're gonna leave here out of Wallace, similar to what we did last year. We'll head towards Pierce Dwarshak, which we won't actually get to. Then we're gonna go to Elk River and come back up Clarkia, Marble Creek, and that. So this is similar to the overlanding trip I wanna do next year with a bigger group. So we had the opportunity for three of us that are pretty seasoned at overlanding at this point. Chris is sometimes known as Talon. He ran tail on the other group. Check the videos. I'll send some links up here that we've done in the past. And Linda's rode in quite a few with us. So we have us three. We are getting ready to head out. We're gonna head out Wallace today, and then we're gonna try and get to a really nice campground just the other side of Avery on the, I think it's the Clearwater River. It's where we camped our last overlanding that we did last year. So we got everything packed up. We're all three riding solo. I'm back to the spare tire on the top like I did. That sort of was my signature. Big shout out to Kane. He labeled me the Hillbilly Deluxe. So in his honor, we got the tire back on top. We've got some stuff attached to the side, but I think we're all gonna do good. So let's go ahead and get on the road and get going. It's definitely gonna be a warm one. We seem to find these warm weekends. A little cooler today, might even hit some showers, but it's all about the adventure. Take Slate Creek up. So we just came up the start of Wallace, and Slate Creek is right here just over this bridge. This is Slate Creek. So this is how you get to Wallace. This is Moon Pass. All right, well, we're about halfway from Wallace to Avery on Slate Creek. This is one of our favorite places to stop. I don't think it's that great of a camping area. They used to have a little bit of a fire pit here, but it looks like the rocks got dispersed. There's a little bit of camping over there if you wanted to set up a tent. This is pretty rocky and unlevel. You probably do a little bit there, or there's actually a trail here, and there's a little bit better here, but you can't drive into there over there. Overall, a really cool place to stop. I took my hat, dunked it in there. It's climbing up that leg of Slate Peak. I definitely got warm. It was super warm inside the cab. Plus I've got everything bunched in there, so the heat just shoots straight over to me. But we're taking a quick break, enjoy the weather here, grab a snack, and we're probably only like 20 minutes from Avery at this point. All right, well, we made it to Avery. Even though we only used about 2 gallons of fuel, we're gonna go ahead and top off because this next leg, we're gonna camp and then get to Elk River tomorrow afternoon, about 86 miles from here, and wanna make sure we have plenty of fuel. So the Avery store does have ice, gas, all kinds of stuff here. They're open, as far as I know, 7 days a week. The one thing I forgot is TFP's is only open, I believe, Thursday through Sunday. Let's walk over and check. So that is correct. They are open Thursday through Monday. They're actually closed Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you're coming through here on a Tuesday or Wednesday and you were expecting to get some killer pizza or roasted chicken, you're gonna be out of luck. So we're gonna head back over the bridge. The Idaho BDR actually goes to the right and up. We're actually going to stay to the left and kind of go up through there. Be just a little bit of a different route. Both Linda and Chris have rode that other one, the Idaho BDR, a couple of times. So we're gonna take a slightly different route just to be a little different. It's very similar to the Avery poker run that we did here last month, about a month and a half ago. We did the poker run where we went up to Middle Sister. We were actually here for a week and actually pre-ran that up to Middle Sister. That's where it was snowing when we were up there. It was pretty cool. Highly doubt there's gonna be any snow today, although it could be some ash. I'm not sure. I was gonna look up on Onyx. Onyx has this new killer feature that shows you fires and fire information on the map. So might have to take a quick peek and see where the fires are just to make sure there's none in the route we're going. All right, we actually made really good time here. We got set up. This is the same spot we were at last year for our Saturday night on our overlanding. So we decided to start here. It's Wednesday night, but we've got the 3 of us set up. We've got, we're gonna cook some dinner and get some stuff going here shortly. Got the Starlink going. It's a little treed, but it seems to work out here just to be able to check in and such. This is one of my favorite areas. I think it's the Little Fork of the Clearwater River. So we got some really good views here. The sun's starting to go down over on the west. Got a nice rock there. Maybe go rock a tan or something while sitting out there and see, work on the tan. But probably jump in here, clean up a little bit. It's got a really nice pool down there, so that's probably where we'll go get in. take a quick refresher, get some dirt off of us. But this is our stop for tonight. So we're gonna get things going here with some dinner, get some food, and we'll probably see if we can get a fire going and have a nice relaxing night. Tomorrow, I think we're heading to Elk River. We got a couple of stops that we're gonna give it a try and see like a peak or something. But tomorrow we're headed to Elk River. So we'll probably see you in the morning as we're going to relax tonight and enjoy this beautiful day. Good morning. It is Thursday morning. We're here at, I think this is the little fork of the Clearwater River. This has been a fantastic camp spot. We had some yummy steak, thanks to Chris for bringing that. Got that all grilled up. We are packed up and getting ready to go. So at this point, we're gonna be hitting the Idaho BDR and we're gonna take that. Final destination is Elk River, but we're gonna hit a little peak up here that we wanna check out. We're gonna go by Blue Haven Cabin, which is one of our favorites. I know Linda is really looking forward to getting some water there. It's that clean, fresh water. And then we probably won't get to Granddad Bridge down by Door Shack. I think we're just gonna shoot straight over to Elk River. There's a couple places we wanna look at there and then end up in Elk River. So let's get on the road and start having some fun today. Well, one of the things to keep an eye out when you're on the Idaho BDR or riding anywhere in North Idaho is there's definitely plentiful huckleberries. We're kind of in that season. It changes a little bit depending upon elevation. You can down lower, the huckleberries will start to be ready to pick slightly earlier, but you get into these higher elevations and it actually can be a little bit later. And this year has been an abundance of them. So Linda and Chris decided they wanted to stop and grab some because we're gonna have some huckleberry pancakes for breakfast in the morning. And after thinking I had fixed it, the new recurring issue that I'm running into, nope, lost in a brake pressure switch. All right, well, we made it up here to the My Blue Heaven cabin. We've been here a bunch of times. Looks like they just recently painted this, as we found out on our trip last year when we came through here to Lolo. This is now, this has always been private, but they've actually closed it off to public use. So if you come up here, you can go around. That's where Linda went. There's a spring back there that you can get some really good water and stuff. They do have a picnic table out here. Might be doing some work. I'm not sure. There's a trailer here. But if you come up here, please respect the property. This is private property. You know, they could just close the whole thing off and not let us stop at all. right, well, we just came off 457, so this is the Avery Junction where you get to Blue Haven Cabin, Freeze Out Ridge, which was the ridge we were on. This is if you were going north. So we just came off this. We're gonna take a right, follow this road around, and this should head us down towards Store Shack. Well, it's always an adventure. So we came down and we were heading down towards Store Shack, and we saw a sign that said Breakfast Creek Road closed for a repair. About 100 feet down, there was two big excavators that were sitting there, and they said we can't go any further. So we thought we found something on Onyx that had a way to get us back down towards Store Shack, but as you can see, there's a gate and that's not well maintained. So we're gonna have to do an audible. We are on 800. It looks like 800 is gonna put us somewhere between Elk River and Clarkia. So that is what our current plan is. We can see the logging markers are about 35 miles. So that's probably about right where it'll put us in. And then we may run up into Clarkia to grab some fuel, and then we'll make another determination. So other than that, the road's real nice. It's been maintained, oiled. The dust is actually really low, and we should be able to get some pretty good fuel mileage. So not going to film this because it's going to be real boring unless I see any good ones. But that's the current goal, is to head and see where we can get at on 800. All right. Well, we took 800, and that actually ended up dumping us into Elk Creek Road, which is where we're supposed to be going tomorrow. So we're gonna take Elk Creek Road and run back up to Elk River, but I wanted to show you this view real quick. Add that view to the collection of views that don't suck. All right, well, we made it up Elk Creek to the giant Cedar Interpretive Trail. They have a restroom here, so if you need a restroom, this is a good break. I'm not quite sure how far it is. This is the trailhead, and we're gonna head down and go see this giant cedar. Giant Western Red Cedar. It's pretty big around. So then you walk around the corner and there's a giant cedar grove here. Check out this one. I think this is two technically. They kind of start, actually there's three here if you look. This is like a double and a single coming off that side. So this is like a double and then a single with the same root system. More, some big ones. So a fun fact I learned from Alan is that cedars need water, and lots of water. So typically when you see a lot of cedars, they're going to be real close to water. All right, well, we made it to Elk River today, 73 miles. I think that was probably about 20 miles longer than we were supposed to because of the Breakfast Creek Road was closed and we had to work around it. But we made it here. We got to the store, got a couple things, got some fuel. They have fuel here. And now we're gonna just head right to the corner of town where the Elk Creek campground is and see if we can find a spot there. Otherwise, we're just gonna go up Elk Creek Road. Coming in, we saw plenty of spots, cool little group spots that we could camp in. So let's go find someplace to camp for the night. All right, well, this was definitely an eventful day. So we're coming down past where the Blue Heaven cabin is. And as you turn down towards what I think is called Bedroom Creek Road, there was 2 excavators there and a road closed sign. So we turned around and we thought we found another way to get over kind of a shorter loop, and that failed. And we actually ended up taking 800 all the way over to halfway between Elk River and Clarkia. So it wasn't too bad. 800 was actually a really nice road. We just kind of flew down it. And then we were able to take Elk Creek Road up and over. We actually did stop at the giant Cedar Grove, so we got that out of the way, so we won't have to do that tomorrow. That was one of the things we were gonna do tomorrow. And we made our way to Elk River, and we are here at the Elk Creek campground. This is actually a really cool campground. There's about 15 or so spots. All the spots are powered. There's bathrooms, there's none of the spots have water, but there is a couple of water faucets that you can grab water from. So really cool, and it's only 20 bucks. So for 20 bucks, we're gonna splurge on a camp spot tonight. Not next to a river or water, which is one of the things we really like to do, but pretty happy about it. So we are set up. I think it's 4 o'clock. We've got all our tents set up. We can have a fire here because it's a campground. So we'll probably do that. And I think we're doing burgers tonight. So it's been a long day. So we're gonna call it quits. We will see you in the morning, and we will be heading up to Clarkia. And I think we're gonna try and stay at either Marble Creek or Donkey Creek. All right, well, we are all packed up here at Elk Creek Campground. We've been watching this plane. They do have a landing strip at Elk River. And so this plane, I guess he's over there now, just landed and took off. So kind of fun little thing. Definitely was a little bit of traffic on the road. Kind of glad we stayed here, not one of the dispersed campsites up the road, because it sounded like logging trucks were really active this morning. So because of the reroute that we had to do yesterday because of the road closure, we actually ended up hitting Elk Creek Road and coming all the way down here, which is how we were supposed to go out. So we're gonna do a little bit of exploring and try a different route on the way up. It'll still dump us in real close to where we came out yesterday, and that'll give us some more exploring. One of the trails that we came in on was a little tight. It had alders growing really bad on the driver's side going out. So we don't necessarily want to go hit that, because we're all going to be getting hit in the face if we take that, and we already know it. So let's go explore. We'll hit Clarkia, and then we're going to find some place to camp for tonight. All right, so one of our first morning peaks is this one. I'm thinking, I have no idea where we're at. We just came up this. I think this is Shattuck Butte if I remember right. But man, more views, just beautiful, beautiful views. I'm thinking the sun's there, so that's the east, so this is probably south that we're looking here. So we're heading over to Clarkia, which should be somewhere way over there. So we're here at Perkins Cedar Grove, trail number 749. Didn't quite know exactly what this was. We just happened to go by it. So we're going to take a quick jaunt down here and see what it's all about. Yeah, it is definitely a little out here. Well, there's some cedars here, and it looks like it goes up further, probably up into here. We saw moose up in that area, so we're going to decide not to go all the way up and see the Perkins Cedar Grove and just get back on the trail. All right, we made it here to, I think this is the J&E stop in Clarkia. They've got a convenience store, some gas. They've actually got a restaurant and bar too. So if you're looking to grab something, it's right off Highway 3. I think this is Highway 3 right here at Clarkia. And Clarkia itself is just back here. So if you're coming in from the backside like we did, you'll have to come almost all the way to the freeway to find the J&E and gas. All right, so we're heading up. Hobo Pass is going to be our next stop, and then that should put us over towards the Marble Creek area, where we're going to be looking for a place to stay tonight. All right, well, we made it over to the Hobo Cedar Grove Botanical Area. It's actually pretty cool. They've got a whole bunch of picnic tables, and kind of a little area, and you can see there's tons of cedars all around us. There's just a ton and tons of cedars, but they have a bathroom. I think this is more picnic areas. Let's go see what's back here. Kind of a cool little area to be, if you wanted to come up and picnic. This one looks like, unfortunately, I need to get cleaned up. Had a tree fall in it, but it looks like they do have fire pits and grates. But yeah, that one Mother Nature won and took out the fire pit. But if you wanted to cook or such, so cool little area. So one of the things we were really trying to do on this trip is just explore some areas. So if we do happen to come through here with a bigger group, I'm a little more familiar with places that we could stop and you know, enjoy a quick walk or something like that. So this is one of the spots that we wanted to stop at. This is up 321 out of Clarkia. It's pretty easy to get to. You could easily drive a car up here. Just watch out for the logging trucks. I almost had a head-on collision with one of them coming right down the middle of the road. They, you know, this is their office, so just be careful. Definitely some downed trees, but you can see most likely this one was infested. I don't know if this is like a bark beetle or something, but mainly I would assume the reason why they've cut these down is they were infested. There almost could be two there.
A what?
There almost could be two.
Oh.
Well, we walked a little bit ways down there. It looks like a pretty cool place. If you wanted to have a day destination, the Hobo Cedar Grove would definitely be a cool one because you've got your picnic tables. You could bring some food, barbecue it, and there's also that trail. We only went a little bit ways. It looks like it zigzags all the way through it. There's cedars everywhere. You can see down the road there as far as we could see there and all the way around. So really cool area if you're looking for a day picnic. All right, well, we stopped at Donkey Creek Campground. This was actually our destination for the day, but it's only about 1:45, and we're thinking we may end up heading back into the Avery area and calling an audible. This is an interesting group site. I mean, there's a fire ring here, but back over here under that road, there's actually a sort of a vault toilet outhouse and 3 or 4 camp spots back there. I feel like that's kind of the official campground, but this would be a killer group spot right on, I'm almost positive this is Marble Creek, and just a beautiful area. Somebody's built up some rocks, so you'd almost have a little swimming pool here. So I think we're gonna run up, not much further than this is Marble Creek Campground. We're gonna check that one out and then make a decision on where we wanna go. All right, well, we started our destination to Donkey Creek, and we got there about 1:30 and decided we want to go a little further. So then we kind of checked out Marble Creek Campground, which ended up being further down than the map shows, and those were all taken. So then we ended up going to Avery and checking out, there's actually a campground just on the Wallace side of Avery, sort of on Moon Pass. And then I remembered when we were in Avery a couple of months ago for their poker run, there were some really killer spots. And so I found this one. So there's a really good spot. I think this is called the Little Fork of the St. Joe. I'll throw some pictures up there, but so far it's done pretty good for a camp spot. Testing out the fire maple. This is water boiling. So we're gonna boil some water, try out one of the hydrated dinners, and we'll probably relax and enjoy the evening. So tomorrow we're thinking about maybe hitting Shefoot or something like that. We're gonna relax for a little bit tonight and then make a decision on what we want to do. Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and this will be the last day of our trip. It's been a really good trip, kind of like the smaller groups. Earlier this year, I think we had 10 rigs that went, and like 15 people. And it's just really hard, even over a 4 or 5 day trip, to get social time with everybody. And so with just the three of us on this trip, it's been really nice because we've been able to have some continuous conversations where sometimes you start to have a good conversation with somebody and then the whole rest of the trip you just don't have that opportunity. So we've been able to have really good conversations and get to know each other a little better, etc. So we're gonna leave this campsite. This is probably what I'd call a treasured campsite. There was at least 4 or 5 people that slowly rolled by here yesterday afternoon and evening when we got here, after we got here, most likely trying to find a camp spot like this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot up to Loop Creek and then over to Shefoot and see if we can get a quick glimpse off Shefoot. Sprinkled a little bit this morning. It's supposed to rain here in about 4 hours. So we've got a real early start. I think it's just after 7. And we're gonna try and beat the rain, get up to Shefoot, and then get to Wallace, load out, and get on our way home. All right, well, we made it up to the top of Shefoot Mountain. I've actually never been here, but I've seen tons of pictures. Fortunately, it is a little overcast. You can see we're right at the cloud lines. I'll pan here in a second. But man, this is a magnificent view. You can see all the way around. We have weather coming in. It looks like it's probably on this side. It looks a little more clear over there, but other than that, not a bad ride. A little bumpy, a little smooth. Actually, it wasn't as bad as some of the others like North and South Baldy out of Usk, but this is definitely going to be picturesque. So So that rock face right there is Shefoot. That's where we were just at. All right, so rather than just hitting Loop Creek back to Wallace, since it's only 9:38, we're going to run up to Saltese, and then we'll go over to Taft, and that'll bring us back to Loop Creek to Wallace. So it'll add a couple of hours. Both Linda and Chris are not from this area. One's over on in I think Tacoma, and the other's just south of Walla Walla in Oregon. So figured this last day, rather than just getting home quick, we'll and show them a couple more trails in this area. Well, we made it back here to our loadout. We are a day early. It's Saturday afternoon, right about noon. We had a good ride this morning, but the weather has been a little rainy and stuff. So we knew we'd probably cut today short to get back here before any of the real bad weather hit. It was up where we were riding, up by Shefoot and some of that we were at earlier today. It was definitely a little bit wet up there. We were wet, a little dry here, which is kind of interesting. Hope you enjoyed going along with us on this trip. If you're interested in joining us on any of these, don't forget to check out smackoutadventures.com, our website, and we post most of our information about trips like this on our Facebook page, Smack Out Adventures. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's the best way to help us. And until then, we'll see you next time.